I don't remember any of it.
You don't remember?
For you, the day bison graced your village was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday.
Welcome to the Rated G for Gamers podcast, episode 89. Just a reminder that you guys can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google+, and YouTube at Rated G for Gamers. And you can email us at ratedgforgamers@gmail.com. I'm your host, Dave Rotino, and this is my co-host, Dan, the podcaster, formerly known as Classic Robinson.
And you can call me the pumpkin picking man.
Dan, the pumpkin picking man. He's a man of many. I
got many hats. I got many traits. I got many hats. Pumpkin picking today in the rain.
What?
It was so romantic. It was so romantic.
There you go. You're getting in that Halloween spirit. I like it.
I am getting Halloween spirit. Yeah, I can't wait for Jigsaw to come out. As
oh
a side
my god!
note,
Yeah,
quick.
you're a big
I'm a big horror guy. I'm a big horror guy.
Yeah.
I love horror.
Blow it out. Yeah, definitely.
Like I always look forward to Sci-Fi Channel's 31 Days of Horror, right? And I go to Horror Fest. They have like New York Horror Fest.
Yeah.
Even though weirdly enough, New York Horror Fest is in November.
Mm-hmm.
It's like right after Halloween.
Yeah, it's weird.
Does it make any sense?
It's weird.
Does it make any sense?
Yeah, it's still that time of year, you know, in and around. You
So-
know, you still keep your Christmas tree up at least a few days after Christmas, right?
Well, you know, it's part of Kwanzaa, right? Like we celebrate Kwanzaa too.
Well, the 12 days of Christmas, I think, is what you were going for.
Well, you know what? It's just the holiday season.
The holiday season, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It's the Halloween season.
I don't know, but I think Halloween season is definitely over 2 weeks into November.
Yeah, right. Yeah, everyone's focused
Now
on
Thanksgiving season.
Everyone's focused on football, turkey, and Christmas.
Yeah. Well, we'll put it this way: the holiday season has officially kicked off.
Oh hell yeah, it does.
October.
It is my favorite time of the year.
October?
Well,
Halloween?
October. Halloween may be my favorite holiday. Better than Christmas.
Really?
Yeah, better than Thanksgiving, better than Easter. It's great. It's the one day a year you can go out dressed up as whatever you want, and no one will judge you.
You know what?
Judgment.
You know what? I think I should have known that, because if anybody who knows Dave, who's been a friend of Dave's on social media, even through MySpace days, knows that you like to dress up.
My Halloween costumes are on point. Thank you for
It
pointing
is.
that out.
It is. I give you that. Not my thing. I'm not, much of a costume guy. I don't like to dress up.
You appreciate it though.
I appreciate it. Yes. I went to last time I went to a costume party. You know what I wore?
What'd you wear? Did you wear a white T-shirt and say you were a ghost?
No, I went after work. It was like on a Friday, and I went after work, and I still had like my button down and slacks and stuff, and they were just like, and he was just like, well, what's your costume? And I'm just like the working man. I'm here, the corporate working man. I'll
take it. Because like nobody else is probably dressed up in a suit unless you're going as Clark Kent.
Dressed up in a suit.
Yeah.
No one goes as Clark Kent. Everyone goes as Superman, right? So You know what? That's what we should do. You should go. I should just we do it like you're having a Halloween party, right? So you should dress up as Superman, and I'll just come after work, and I'll be like, well, I'm Clark Kent. I'll just get the glasses.
That'd be kind of funny.
Like, who are you? I'm Clark Kent.
I'll have to set up a phone booth in the living room too, just for the full experience.
Oh yeah, when you set the phone booth up, make sure the Wii U
the kiosk.
Wii U kiosk is in it, so I got something to play.
That's funny.
So anyway, what's going on, man?
Well, it's funny that you mentioned the Halloween and the costumes and all that, because I got a ticket to Comic-Con this weekend.
Nice.
It was a big surprise.
Comic Con's been sold out all summer.
Yeah,
coming up, New York Comic Con.
Yeah, the New York Comic Con. Yes. Which is, I think, just wrapping up. I think it's over today. It's probably done now.
As of this recording.
Yes.
Today was the last day. We're recording on a Sunday night.
So I went Saturday. Coworker of mine, a friend of his, had an extra ticket, and he was kind of asking around. I said, "Hell yeah, I'll take it," because it's Comic Con. And I got there like real early so I could scope things out. It was good this year. The costumes were on point. I threw a lot of that stuff up on Instagram, so you can see that. You can see me as a Super Saiyan.
Yeah. No, you were a Psychonaut Super Saiyan.
Yeah, exactly. I was like half dressed up. I had my costume from 2014, the Raz Psychonauts costume, because the helmet's just easy. The hat is like a hat and the goggles and whatnot, so it's easy to carry around. And a friend of mine, Brittany, helped me make the costume. So any chance I get to wear it, I'm like, hell yeah, it's going on. So I rocked that for a little bit. I got some compliments on that. So that was kind of cool. But yeah, I mean, I think overall Comic-Con was pretty good this year. I was only there for one day, but
well, you were on a day that counts. You were on Saturday.
Saturday is the day if you're gonna go. I think
that's like the day. Yeah.
I ended up seeing Kevin Smith. He was doing some stuff for IMDb, I guess. So he was kind of interviewing. I saw him interview the cast of Tick, the new Amazon Tick series, which was awesome. So I saw that for a little bit. I bumped into you would have definitely appreciated this, and these are also up on our Instagram. I bumped into no less than 3 classic wrestling superstars.
Nice. I'm a wrestling fan. I'm a wrestling fan.
Yeah. Diamond Dallas Page was there. Jake the Snake Roberts was there, and Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man. All those guys I love. Much respect for those guys. They're great.
DDP, I love DDP, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like he was like wrestling he started wrestling like when he was like older than normal people, right? So like he's like super old right now, but he's in great shape and he's doing great with DDP Yoga.
Yeah. He he had that there. You could definitely buy the DVDs. He had the Jake the Snake DVD, the documentary that he put out, because he basically
saved his life.
Yeah.
Him and Scott Hall raising Ramon.
Yeah. So I mean, like that was kind of cool and unexpected. I will say, okay, so like gaming wise, right?
Not much at New York Comic Con.
Not like a whole lot. Square Enix had a huge booth. They had a bunch of stuff that was prominent out in front. Capcom had a pretty big booth. Namco Bandai had a pretty big booth. So that was kind of cool. Like I played a couple games there and. I played Ni no Kuni 2, I think. So there's some new DLC coming out for Tekken, which is awesome. They're actually going to have... I was like waiting on the line for Ni no Kuni, and I was watching the Tekken thing, and I'm like, oh, there's a lot of DLC I didn't know about. And then they're like, oh, and also we have Geese Howard from the Fatal Fury series. So I was like, hot damn. Nice little crossover, right? They already have Akuma in there from Street Fighter. Now they're going to have Geese Howard in there. So I was like, oh, shit. Definitely got to download that. So that was kind of cool. But, yeah, I mean, there was definitely a lot of comic stuff going on. They had a lot of experiences. There was a Star Wars experience there, which was kind of cool. They had a big thing for, do you know Lore at all?
No, what's that? Who's that?
I had no clue what this was either, but apparently it is a podcast that is now turned into a Netflix series, I think. So like as soon as you walk in,
it used to be a podcast.
I think it still is a podcast, which they're now turning into like an Amazon series. And they had this old dilapidated house that looked like really cool. Like as soon as you walk into Javits, like right in the entranceway, they had this big thing for Lore. I didn't get to go in, sadly, but it did look really neat.
Well, do you know anything about Lore? Like, you know anything about like what's the podcast about?
I think it's maybe kind of like a
from the creators of The Walking Dead.
Yeah, maybe it's like a I don't want to speak out of turn about it, but I feel like it's like a Grimm's fairy tales or like a made up kind of mythology type thing, and then they'll like tell a story about like whatever, and they'll like kind of make that an episode. So I don't know if it necessarily has a narrative or if like each episode is different, and they kind of tell like a different story out of each one. I'm not entirely sure. Like I looked it up very briefly just to see what it was because
executive producers. It's the executive producer of Walking Dead and the executive producer of the X-Files.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They're going to bring lore, the podcast, and it uncovers the real life events that spawned our darkest nightmares.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Blending dramatic scenes, animation, archives, and narration. It's like horror, like sort of like the Twilight Zone type thing, maybe.
Possibly.
You know what? Now check it out. I never even heard of it.
Yeah. Neither did I. And it was just like boom, like right in front. It looked really cool. So that was kind of neat. There was, I have to say, there was way too much Funko Pop at this convention.
You don't like Funko Pop?
I have nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with Funko Pop, but when you have every single vendor, there were vendors that just had Funko Pop, thousands and thousands of Funko Pop. It was ridiculous. It was like, how difficult is it to get? Like I'm sure there's some rare Funkos and whatever, and some ones they may not make anymore necessarily, but I didn't see a lot of people buying them. I don't know.
Well, look, every year there's a thing, right, that people try to exploit, and I'm sure this year it was Funko Pops, and next year will be something else.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It was just weird. Like I was looking for my Final Fantasy figurines, like I do, you know.
You have a huge collection of Final Fantasy figurines.
I do. Most of my
you don't talk about it much though, and you don't post a lot of pictures of it. I mean, we talk about Amiibo, and you do post pictures of Amiibo, but I mean, I joke around about you loving Final Fantasy so much, but you really truly do love the franchise because you buy the figurines and posters.
I do. Yeah, no, I got a decent amount of Final Fantasy merchandise. You know what? I'm gonna post some pictures up tonight.
Yeah, you should.
That's not a bad idea. But yeah, actually, funny enough, our first Twitter and like podcast, like all like the pictures from the way back when, the first like picture for all of our social media had a bunch of Final Fantasy stuff in there. You know, it was like a bunch of stuff. You know, it was a little Batman figurine, but I definitely remember when I was setting the shot up, I'm like, got to get some Final Fantasy figurines in here. So
nice. Okay.
But yeah.
Well, speaking of that, Dave, as we always try to start the show and always horribly fail, what have you been playing?
Oh, well, speaking of Final Fantasy,
no, surprise.
Could have been no better.
Final
Fantasy 3/6 in Japan, and playing the American release on the SNES Classic because it's the greatest game of all time, hands down, to me. And to anyone who's a Final Fantasy fan, nothing beats 6. So I'm about halfway through the game now, I think. You know, I'm taking my time, playing it slow, just enjoying it. You know, I played that game a million times already, so it's just
I know
it's just kind of
nothing
fun.
about the game, haven't played it at all.
Well, you wouldn't necessarily like it, even though you said you had a good time with 15. 6.
I had a good time with 15.
Yeah, and the Battlefront beta dropped. Finally,
Star Wars Battlefront beta. Yeah,
Star Wars Battlefront 2 beta. So I played a little bit of the arcade mode, watched the little intro video with like John Boyega, which was kind of cool, and played a round or two of multiplayer. I have some words on it. I don't think the experience was the best. Like, it looks pretty.
Well, how much did you play? How long did you play for?
Like 20 minutes, half hour maybe. All
right, so you played a little bit more than me. I played maybe like 15 minutes of it. I played the same. I was a fighter pilot on in a flying simulator part, and I played a little bit of the multiplayer and got my ass handed to me.
Yeah, same. And I didn't necessarily mind that. It was just a matter of like learning the game and figuring out the controls and how the maps are laid out and all that. So that was all cool. But and the graphics and the sound are amazing, but I feel like it's a little too tough for the OG Xbox, and I'm going to assume that the PlayStation has the same experience, the OG PS4. I feel like they made this for the One X, right?
And the Pro.
Yeah, and the Pro. It feels like it needs more horsepower. Now, it could just be that, obviously it's a beta and they're tweaking stuff and whatnot, but this game's going to come out in like a month, right?
I'll look it up as you talk.
Yeah, I mean, so it's it's definitely coming out soon. I'm assuming they have about 30 days, maybe a little bit more, for this game, and it was choppy.
November 17th.
Yeah. So they have a little more than a month. It was a little bit choppy. The frame rate definitely didn't go over 30 for multiplayer, which I mean is kind of expected, but I thought it would be a little more consistent. So
Well, where did you play it on?
I played it on the X1. Yeah.
Okay, I played it on the PS4.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't play that much of it, I have to say. And while I honestly played like 15 minutes of it. I had company.
Mm-hmm.
I went pumpkin picking with a significant other.
Aww.
And as we got home and we were like cleaning pumpkins, I was like, oh, I forgot about the beta. I was like, let me gotta play it. So I was sort of distracted when I was playing it for like 15 minutes. So it wasn't like I was really paying that much attention. It seemed fine to me.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure I'll say that now and then go back after we record, go back, play it, and I'll see all the chops.
Yeah. Take a look. Hopefully they fix it out. Hopefully they iron it out. If it stays the same, I'm probably gonna hold off on
buying the game.
On buying the game.
I'm not gonna hold off on buying the game because I really want to get in that story mode,
mm-hmm.
which seems awesome because
mm-hmm.
it's it's like you're playing from the bad guy's perspective.
Yeah,
the Sith Lord dead, and you're playing as a character and who she's a part of the bad guys. She's the her
it's part of the Empire.
She's part of the Empire. Yeah. To her, the Jedi are the enemy, and they're the bad guys, and she's on the side of good. So I would love to see that perspective.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. $10. I'll bet you that she defects to the Jedi. She defects to the rebels.
You know what? I think it would be even interesting if they have it where she doesn't defect, and then she'll be in Star Wars Battlefront 3 coming out in 2 years from now.
Yeah, we'll see.
They continue the story, and I don't know. You never know. She becomes a Sith Lord.
Yeah. Hey, look at that. First female Sith Lord, right? Well, no, I shouldn't say that.
You don't know.
I'm sure the books had a ton of female Sith Lords, but
yeah, but the books aren't canon though. That's the thing.
Well, I mean, they were, and then they weren't again.
They were, and then they weren't.
But now they have like new books too, so who knows?
And those aren't canon either.
The new books are, I think.
I don't think they're canon.
Well, maybe.
That.
I'm not sure.
Check that.
I'm not sure. I thought everything that came out past episode 7 was supposed to be in the new Disney canon, but I don't know. You may be right.
All right, so I've been playing a lot more Cuphead.
Mm-hmm.
IGN, when we did the review roundup last week, IGN their score was still in progress. Mm-hmm. They have now scored it at 8.8. I think it's fantastic.
Hey.
So this game is hard.
Yeah,
I gotta say, even if you play it on normal, because it's either normal or hard.
Right.
Yeah.
There is no easy.
There is no easy.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're playing these boss fights, I gotta say though, in fairness, when I must have screamed at the TV a million times for one of these boss fights, because I lost like 50 times, right? And it's always the mechanics are great. It's always like it's your fault, right? When you lose, it's your fault. And I see people are like breaking controllers online.
It ain't that serious.
This game is one of those rage quit games where you get that boss and it tells you how far after you lose. It tells you how far you were close. How far you're close to actually completing that level.
Yeah.
One time I didn't even know. I was like, this level never ends. This boss battle never ends. She just keeps throwing things at me, and I was like, and I got hit. You only get hit 3 times, by the way.
That's right. That's right. Well, I mean, they have the power ups that can give you a little bit more life, but
a little bit more, but not a lot more.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I was right there, and I keep getting right there and got to start over every time. And I was like, so pissed. But it's so gratifying when you actually beat it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's not like Ghouls and Ghosts.
Right.
It's not like Jekyll and Hyde. It's not like Silver
it actually
Surfer.
has good control. Yeah.
It has great control.
Mm-hmm.
They just throw everything at you, even the kitchen sink.
All right. Yeah, right.
Literally, they throw a kitchen sink at you.
So here's what we're gonna do to help you and your mediocre to average video game skills.
You mean my excellent?
We're gonna definitely rock the local multiplayer because there is no online multiplayer.
No, it's even worse. It's even worse.
No. I got you.
They make it even worse. No, people say it's even worse. People say when you play with multiplayer is even worse.
Well, yeah, I mean, they probably make it harder. The enemy's hit points are more, just like how they did back in the day with like turtles.
It's more clutter on the screen. It's more sprites on the screen now.
Yeah, no, I got you.
Anyway, you're gonna be like yelling you're gonna be yelling because you're like, I'm dying, and I'm like, I gotta save you. That's usually how it goes when me and Dave, we play the Division. He goes in. He's always.
Oh yeah.
That's how it goes.
Get out of here.
That's usually how it goes. You know what? Speaking of that, we need to start playing the Division again. We've missed a couple of weeks.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if we have time. Cuphead's out now.
We have time.
Shadow of War is coming out like on Tuesday. There's all the SNES stuff that's out right now. I still got a backlog of games. I still got to play the Order 1886. You still got
to finish Uncharted.
I know. I'm already on it. I'm only on Uncharted 2. I've got a ways to go.
Anyway, so I finished Bayonetta on Wii U, so I got that off my backlog. One. I finished that. That's an excellent game, fantastic game. Regardless if you can play it on the Wii U or the Xbox 360. I don't know if it came out for PC. I'm going to say no. Definitely have to play.
Maybe.
Definitely have to play Bayonetta. I don't think it came out for the PC though. I've been playing Rayman Legends on the Switch. I went back to that. I've actually been playing Rayman 3 on an Xbox One / Xbox 360 backwards compatible.
Oh, nice. I was just.
You checking to see if Bayonetta came out on PC,
and it very much is on Steam.
Really? Oh, Bayonetta 1.
Got him. Bayonetta 1.
Oh, there's Bayonetta 2 didn't come out though.
Maybe not. Yeah.
Yeah, Bayonetta 2 didn't come out on PC. I actually went back to Nier Automata on the PS4. Really good game. It was hard to get back into it because I sort of forgot the mechanics of the game. Still a good game. Don't know if I'm going to finish it with all these things that are still coming out. We still got Mario. We still got Assassin's Creed. Yeah. I think I'm definitely gonna. I think I'm gonna wait on Wolfenstein until it comes out on the Switch. So I don't know how much of Nier I'm gonna play. I'm gonna try to cram it in right now, until Mario comes out. Try to cram in as much as I can. See if I can beat that game. Save states still suck. Can't really save your progress, and it doesn't have autosave, so you have to find like quick save states. Or go back to sort of the mothership and just save your progress there. So I've been playing that.
Okay.
I already talked about Star Wars Battlefront 2 beta. I went back to PSVR. The lady, she wanted to do something different, so I said, "Why don't we play some VR games?" So she did the London.
You rocked the shark, didn't you? You did the shark.
I did the shark. You did the shark.
That's the one.
Kept moving out of range. I was like, stop moving.
Right. The sensors only go so far.
She's like, but it's coming at me. I was like, it's not real.
Yeah, you're fine. Don't worry.
I'm here. Don't punch me in the face. And then she started playing the London Heist.
Oh, London Heist was cool. Yeah.
London Heist was cool.
That makes me want a new Getaway game. You remember that? Remember the Getaway for PS2?
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Like that was all in London and like super gritty underworld. I want another Getaway in a VR. I want that experience.
LA Noire, I'm gonna get for. I'm not gonna get it on Switch. I'm gonna get it on PlayStation so I can play the VR version. And I think that's something that me and her will play together.
Yeah. You're gonna love that game. It's fantastic.
So she wanted to play a lot more VR. She likes VR. She's like she wants to play more VR games. It's something different, and I can like direct her.
Yeah.
Right.
It's tough, man. You gotta read everybody's facial cues to see if they're lying or not. It's a great mechanic.
That I've been playing also Life is Strange Before the Storm episode 1 on the PS4.
Is the new voice actors jarring, or have you gotten used to them yet?
You know what? It's not that big of a difference. It's not like her voice is like a totally like. I mean, I know it's a totally different person, but it's the voice is similar.
Right. Okay.
So it didn't really throw me off too much.
It's close enough.
It's close enough. Yes, and I didn't beat it yet.
Right.
But I got to say, it's also fantastic. Pretty much love that game. Now the different mechanic because you can't. And remember in the first game, it's sort of like you can rewind time.
I own it, but I haven't actually played it yet. So
you can sort of rewind time. I mean, you can't just rewind back to the beginning of the game, but you have like a certain point to where like you make a decision and then rewind.
Okay.
In this game, they don't have that because you're not playing as Max. You're not playing as the protagonist in the first game. You're playing as her friend Chloe.
Okay.
So they sort of have like a different mechanic to where you have to convince people of things. So, if you're trying to like get into a club, the bouncer will say no, and he'll say no with a few, he'll say get the hell out of here or something. So you have to take what he says, and they give you 3 options. And you have to pick one of the options that has, a response, sort of what he said. So he said, if he said, for example, if he said, get the hell out of here, you get 3 responses. And obviously it's a timer. So you have to pick it quickly. One of the responses could be no. Right. Obviously he didn't say no. He said, get the hell out of here. Another response would say, no, you get the hell out of here. Obviously he said hell or get the hell out of here, so you use that. So you're pretty much trying to convince him by using his words and turning it against him.
Interesting.
So you pretty much have 10 seconds to pick the best response out of the 3, and it's always, I don't know what happens if you pick the wrong response, you just can't progress. Like you got to keep doing it over again. Maybe I don't know. I haven't tested that part out yet. I've been playing it like if it was me trying to, progress. If it was me in her shoes.
Oh yeah. Cool.
So it's a prequel. I already know what happens to her. I already know, what's going to happen. It's a little weird, right? Prequel's always a little weird like that. But I'm a little sad for her. But
whoa!
I like the game. Hey. Well, she has a sad story. It's just her story is sad.
Okay. All right. Say no more.
So yeah, that's pretty much all I've been playing. You get any pickups this week?
I got some pickups for sure. My Night Trap for PC from Limited Run Games finally came.
About time.
I know it's about. It came. I bought it like a month ago. And I have the vastly inferior PC version. If only for the subpar box art. Definitely. And granted, the box art for the Sega CD and the 32X weren't necessarily much better, but they were better than the PC version. Like, it is like legit a screen cap of Dana Plato and some vampires in the background and the words Night Trap in red letters. It's weird. But I'm not going to be that sour on it because I do have a piece of gaming history, so that's kind of cool. And then I picked up RC Pro-Am for the NES complete.
Nice.
He was one of the only video game vendors that were at Comic-Con. Managed to find that there for a good price, so that's pretty good. You Don't Know Jack for the Wii, Just Dance 2 for the Wii. Those were some Goodwill pickups. God of War Ascension, getting the whole God of War thing, getting all those games together. So I got that for the PS3, and Jade Empire Limited Edition for Xbox, which is a fantastic game if you haven't played.
It's one of the gems for the OG Xbox.
Oh, it is, yeah, legit. Because it only came out for Xbox and PC.
Didn't it come out? No, that's right. It didn't come out for the PC.
No. It was an exclusive because it was BioWare. After they did Knights of the Old Republic, then they used that same engine to make Jade Empire. Funny enough, and they did Knights 2, and they since Microsoft owned them, they had exclusivity rights. So
okay. I did a couple of pickups.
Mm-hmm.
I got the last Bronx.
Oh wow!
Which is a fighting game on a Saturn. I got the Japanese version.
I remember this. Yeah.
I think it only came out in the Japanese. I think it was only a Japanese release, right? It wasn't an American release.
I don't know. I mean, I know of it. I could have swore it came out here. I could be wrong.
Hold on, let's check. I think it was only. I think it was only a Japanese release, if I'm not mistaken.
It's interesting though, right? It's a game that's got one of the 5 boroughs of New York City in the United States of America, and then the game doesn't come out here.
And then the game doesn't come out.
It's weird.
I don't think
it's weird.
I think it's only a Japanese. Yeah, I think it's only a Japanese.
Oh wow, okay.
No, it did come out for. It did come out for the American version.
You were like 0 for 2 today.
$85 online if you want the on eBay. If you want the American version, definitely didn't pay that. I got the Japanese version.
Oh, sorry. I need to go ahead and step in here because I think you were about to say long box version, right?
I was, and then I caught myself. That's why.
Okay. At a Comic-Con, it's reminding me of a quick thing. The first video game vendor that I went to, it was all the way in the far corner of the Javits. And they had like a bunch of games. They had good games at like eBay prices or whatever. So I wasn't like doing cartwheels or whatever. But I saw they had some long box PlayStation games. I said, "Oh, this is interesting, right?" Some of them were like the cardboard with the felt that kind of like was the one thing that opened up, and then some of them were the hard plastic, right? So I'm looking at the hard plastic games, and I'm like, they legit printed out like bad cover art because they didn't have the actual manual, like legit bootlegged the artwork.
So it wasn't. So these were like fakes.
Well, I mean, the game was legit. I think it looked good. They just they found some long box cases and they didn't have the artwork and they just printed it out. I'm like,
you should have taken a picture of it. Why didn't you take a picture of it?
I was in like this tiny little corner of this tiny little booth. Like I couldn't move in there. Nah, it just wasn't worth it. But I was like, man, I ended up buying nothing from those guys after I saw that.
Well, I wouldn't have bought anything from them. Well, you know what? You should have said something. I would have asked. I would have they could have maybe would have been truthful and be like, hey, yeah, these are just like repros that we original games were repro boxes that we put together.
Right.
Because they only had the disc.
Right. I mean the prices weren't crazy exorbitant, which is that's probably why, but I was just like, because they didn't actually mark it anywhere on there. You wouldn't have known if you just kind of quickly glanced at it, All
right.
But I'm sorry. Anyway.
All right. Well, you got your Night Trap from Limited Run. I finally got my Wonder Boy, the Dragon's Trap for PS4 / Lawbreakers because they had a bundle where you can get both. I finally got that.
Cool.
I mean, I ordered that like in August, and I finally just got that. I do have Wonder Boy, the Dragon's Trap for Switch, but I wanted the physical version. So with the reversible, you get the reversible cover, so it can look like the Sega Master System cover.
Nice.
Actually, I had some GameStop pickups today. So, but I got to tell you, before I get into the pickups, I had a really good experience at GameStop. I know you had a bad experience two weeks ago.
You had a good experience?
I had a good experience at GameStop.
I am very suspect, but I want to hear your story.
Where you went into, you went deep in the hood, Nostrand Avenue.
You went to that same one. You said you had a bad experience.
That was a bad experience. I had a bad experience. So this time I was in Long Island. Okay. I was in New Hyde Park.
Okay.
And I went to GameStop. Just, hey, we're in the area. Actually was going to a garage sale that got rained out. So since we were already in the area, it's like, let's go. I want to hit up a GameStop. It's like 2 blocks away. The GameStop was, I went in, the GameStop employee was super nice, super like, hey, look, if you need anything, just let me know. Right. Hey, and then some kids came in and he was helping the kids. He was explaining to the parents what's happening. He's very knowledgeable about video games. You can tell he knows a lot about video games. You could tell how he talks about it, his passion for it, because he's just explaining just random games the kid was picking up. And, obviously the parent wanted to know if it was age appropriate for him.
Yeah.
So when I came up, I found a whole bunch of games, he was just like super nice. How's my day? he small talk, not even about games, just how's your day, how's everything's going. And I told him I was a collector and I was going to garage sale. He's like, oh man, that sucks. And he was just super engaging, never pushed anything on me. He was just like, hey, look, we got the credit card, we went to Power, not the credit card, but like the Power Rewards card and whatever. And I was like, well, I'm already a member. He's like, oh, that's awesome. He's like, a lot of people give it a lot of flack, but if you're going to buy used games, like it comes in handy. Right. But he was like, I don't push it on people. It's up to you if you want it or not. I just explained the benefits. And then he was like, do you want the warranty? It's only $1. Not a big deal if you don't want it, but he pretty much, I didn't feel like he was pushing anything on me. He did it in a way that I think you should do it. He explained it and it was like, no. And he was like, okay, hey, look, I understand.
He did his job. Yeah.
And I had a pleasant experience there. And I got some pretty good pickups too, by the way.
Well, I think that's partly because you were on Long Island. People were just nice out there.
Yeah, that too. So I had some good pickups. I picked up Metal Gear Solid 3D for the 3DS. That's the Snake Eater edition.
Yeah.
You didn't even know they came out with. You didn't even know that came out.
I didn't know they had one for the 3DS. No, I mean you would think. Because it always comes out on like Sony products, right? It's always on PlayStation, right? So it's you're a little like taken aback when you're like, it was on Xbox. They made a Nintendo one,
Yeah, but they had a GameCube.
They had the Twin Snakes, which
Twin Snakes came out only on the GameCube,
which was not directed by Kojima, and Kojima hated. But I mean, it was out on that. Yeah, I mean, every now and again you'll see that happen for sure. But
so. Did that. I picked up NBA 2K17, which again I really wanted to play the Kobe Bryant edition, the retirement edition. So I picked that up for a good price. I got Rise of the Guardians for the Wii U. I'm trying to bolster my Wii U collection while I still can.
Guardians. I don't even know.
I think that's like a Disney game. If I'm not mistaken.
It's a kid's game. Well, there you go.
It's a kid's game.
There you go.
A lot of the Wii U games came out of kids' games. I got Bomberman Land for the Wii. I got that Rayman. Was it Raven Rabbids 2? I already had one for the Wii, and also picked up Psychonauts VR for PS4. I already bought it. I had a digital version, but I wanted to pick up a. I didn't even know they came out with a physical version.
Yeah.
So I picked that up. I also got a gaming chair. Finally, I've been wanting to buy one for a long time.
It's the one you're sitting in right now, as we're.
It's the one I'm sitting on right now, as we're recording. This one is pretty good. It has like 2 pillows, one for your back, one for your neck, neck or head, the back of your head. I was gonna get the one. I didn't want to get the one with the speakers and any of that stuff. That's a waste of time. I don't need. I have a good setup as it is with 2 TVs on a wall and a good sound system around it. I was gonna get the one that has sort of like the leg rest, where it pulls out and you can rest your legs up. But I'm so tall, my legs would just be dangling. Right?
Not made for you or anyone in the NBA, for that matter.
No, not made for tall people. No, it is not. So, but the one I got is pretty good, black and white. I didn't want to get any one with color. I mean, there was one like a month ago. IGN had posted it. No, maybe over the summer, not really a month ago. Over the summer, IGN had posted one that was on sale on Amazon. It was like black and yellow. Yeah. I was like, I want a black and yellow one, but it was a good price. I will say that it was a good price. But finally, I picked up a gaming chair. I'm like super happy.
Congrats.
So, all right. Why don't we take a break? When we come back, we're getting to the top gaming news of the week, and then we're getting to our convo of the week.
Why is gaming culture so toxic?
And we're back. All right, so let's get into the news. So, all right, so we picked up our SNES classics.
We got lucky. Amazon
we got lucky.
Truck.
Thank you, Amazon. Thank you to Amazon Treasure Truck.
Well,
not everyone was happy.
No, I don't think everyone's thanking Amazon right now.
No. A lot of people a little annoyed, and a little hurt, and I can totally understand, because I probably would be a little annoyed as well. That a lot of people who actually pre-ordered on Amazon didn't get their SNES Classics yet.
Yeah,
while people on treasure trucks around the 7 cities where they actually do it, people like us, we got our SNES Classic. People who actually pre-ordered it didn't.
Yeah, that's it's a little bit of a knife in the side, That's crazy.
Well, look, I can understand their position. They pre-ordered. They got up at 2:00 in the morning and was successful and got their pre-orders from Amazon. Yeah. And they still do. Their pre-orders aren't going to be canceled. They're going to get their SNES Classics. But for the people who woke up the next day like me and were shocked to know that they went live at 2 a.m.
I was up. I was up at 2 checking Twitter just randomly, and someone's like, "Yeah, SNES Classics on sale."
I'm happy that I got mine in my treasure truck.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Those guys.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Matt. I remember Matt. Shout out to you, Matt.
There you go. There you go.
All praise goes to you, Matt.
Giving credit where credit's not due, but that's fine. That's fine. I know I'm the one who got you your Amazon.
Thank you, Matt.
Truck SNES Classic.
Thank you, Matt. I appreciate it.
Get out of here.
Anyway, look, I understand. They're a little, they're not going to get it day one, obviously, because they didn't get it. I think Amazon put out something. I think they're being told that they're going to get it before the 15th, right? Which is this week, right?
Which would be like 2 weeks out.
Be 2 weeks out.
Yeah.
They still pre-ordered. They'll get it. They're not going to get it day one, but they're going to get it, right? And maybe I'm telling them they should just chill out for a second because I already got mine.
Hey, that's exactly right. Come on, you would be in that same position. You would be up in arms talking about Amazon on this show if you didn't have yours yet.
It would probably be a gamer grief.
Right, exactly. So, people do need to calm down in the grand scheme of things. I'm with you 100%, but we'd be there.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's whatever. It is what it is. Everyone is going to be happy to, in another week, everyone's going to be happy. We all got our SNES Classics. There'll be more shipments in, and people will be able to get it for Christmas, for the holiday season.
Mm-hmm.
So just be happy. I mean, look, all these games you can just get. These are all old games. Okay,
yeah.
These are all old games.
Yeah,
with the exception of the unreleased game, Star Fox 2.
Well, that's also not true anymore because somebody ripped it day one. So you can get that ROM online now too.
Yes, and you can get the ROM online, and now, thanks to someone on eBay, you can actually get an actual physical SNES cart with Star Fox 2 on it.
Somebody's making bootlegs. Is that what you're telling me? Fakes?
All right, you just gave like this big like huff and puff. I mean, I think this is actually awesome that they're doing a repro of Star Fox 2. You can play it on the original Super Nintendo. Well, it was being sold on eBay for $70.
Right.
Now, I think you had a problem because it looks official, right? I think that's what you had a problem with. And if they would have at least put maybe repro somewhere,
I think no matter what, you need to brand this as like repro, right? You definitely need to let people know in the ad up front, not like way down in the end of the description. You need to say repro Star Fox 2 cartridge, right? That should be your title. Like, no bones about it.
Let's just clarify. Why do you? I think I know why, but why don't we just, why don't you just say a little why you think they should do that? Actually, put repro on the cart and not make it look like an official SNES release.
Right. So I'm kind of with Pat and Ian on this from the CU podcast. Those guys are very anti-repro. I'm okay with reproductions going out there, but they need to clearly be labeled. Right, and the reason behind that is you may know, and you may go online and say like, oh, I'm just gonna get this game. I know it's a repro, but it's $300 for the official, and I just want to get it for like $70, right? Somebody put all the materials together and made the labels for it, got the board, flashed the ROM, put all that stuff in there. Fine, right? If it doesn't say repro on there though, when that guy sells his collection or dies or whatever happens and the game goes out into circulation again, people may not know that it's a repro game, right? if you put repro on the label, like, because that's exactly what it is. You're not tarnishing it for any reason or whatever. Like, you're just saying, like, look, reproduction. Put that on there in easily readable letters, and then anybody who sees it online or at like a garage sale will go like, oh yeah, this is a repro, and they want this much for it. This is fine. All right, that's exactly why they need to brand them as such. Now Star Fox is a special case, right? You may tell
it was
me,
made.
You're right.
It was pretty much completed. It just wasn't released.
Right. So there is no physical for it. Now somebody's putting out a physical for it. I think everybody out there now knows that Star Fox 2 wasn't a physical release, but what happens in 20, 30 years, and somebody looks at a lot of Super Nintendo games and they're like, Star Fox 2, $1,000 rare, and it's like, it's a repro. People may not remember.
Well, there'll always be gamers like us out there, all right, who will remember that this game was never released.
Well, sure.
All right. People will be able to Google, at least Google, and say, hey, look, this game was never released. Right. So I'm not worried about that. But I'm more worried about when that person dies. Yeah. If that person dies. Yeah. Right. And they go to sell the collection, it'll be out in the wild, and it's more for, Star Fox 2. I'm not worried about Star Fox 2 because everyone pretty much universally knows that game was never released. Okay. If you see Star Fox 2 in the wild, that's not real. Oh, that's not an official cartridge. Mm-hmm. Okay. It's when it's the game that's an official cartridge that's released in the wild. Okay. An official cartridge, and you have a repro that's released in the wild and it doesn't say repro. That's the stuff that I think Pat Ian was really referring to. Not something that's clearly a repro.
Well, let me ask you this. Could you name me all 700 some odd Nintendo games that got released?
No, but you mean Super Nintendo games?
No. Well, okay, fine. Super Nintendo, the 1,000 or so Nintendo games.
Okay, I can't name you all the 1,000 Super Nintendo games that got released, but I can tell you the one game that didn't get released, and that's Star Fox 2. So I know that's not a real cart. That's not an official cart.
Yeah.
All right. But what is actually getting an official release is Retro City Rampage DX. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's actually getting a retail collector's edition for the Switch.
Right. So for people who don't know, this is the let's just say it's the spiritual successor to the top-down GTA games and a love letter to the Nintendo era. Is that fair to say?
That is very fair to say.
Okay. It's a top-down shooter. There's tons of references to old video games, Nintendo games, and pop culture and whatnot. It's just a straight up top-down shooter, and it is now getting a super deluxe edition for the Switch.
Well, first of all, you can buy this game. I think this came out on all platforms, right?
Pretty much on everything, yeah.
It came out on everything. You can buy it on Switch digitally. It's getting from what I can tell, a physical release only for the Switch. Mm-hmm. You can get the regular edition, which is like $29.99, or you can get the collector's edition, which is pretty cool because it comes with like a reversible cover that has like the artwork from Sega Master System. You get 3D glasses. You get a keychain. You get the manual that's in the art style that sort of looks like the Super Mario Brothers 2 American version art style, and you get a soundtrack. So this is pretty cool. This is going on pre-order Monday, October 9th. So I definitely am going to be pre-ordering this. So this podcast comes out on Tuesday, so it already went on pre-order yesterday.
Yeah. We would
I didn't even know Guacamelee got a
physical but
that's sold out.
So.
It's most likely awesome. They have everything else. They have
Rampage DX,
other editions that they've sold is sold out
for Super Nintendo.
Like other games, you can even get
and the old school cartridge and whatnot. So you can actually play it on your Super Nintendo.
And that's sold out. They have the DX version, the deluxe version for the Vita. Now I'm sure that's sold out. Mm-hmm. Yep, that's sold out too. And they even have it for MS DOS on the floppy disk. That's awesome, and that's sold out.
Yeah.
So well, I'm getting the Switch version. Screw that. I didn't even know Guacamelee got a physical release. I got to find that.
Yeah.
Now I want that because I love that game.
It is. Oh, Guacamelee is fantastic. It's like Mexican Metroid.
It is. That is true. That is actually a good interpretation of what it is.
Right? I mean, the graphics are on point. Very kind of like angular style graphics to it. The music is fantastic. The story's great. Oh, such a good game.
So, yeah, definitely want that.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that we both pre-ordered, and it's coming soon, and that is the Xbox One X
The Scorpio edition. That's right.
Yes.
That's right. Well, you took after me. I went online to order it, and you're like, I need to get one too.
You know what?
Which is understandable. You want the most powerful console on the market.
I took it because it was the Scorpio edition. I wanted the Scorpio edition.
Well, it is the most powerful console on the market, thow.
It's not on the market.
That is
the most powerful console on the market right now is the PS4 Pro.
Yeah, it is marginally better. Marginally better than the PS4.
It is not on. It is not on.
You're right. No, you're right. You're right. It is the most powerful one on the market. It's marginally better than the regular PS4.
It is not marginally.
So
it's very much
in like a month, in almost a month exactly, it will be the second most powerful console on the market.
So anyway, so these
it pains you to know that.
It doesn't. Well, you know what? This thing may have some issues. I hope it doesn't. I hope it comes out smoothly because I spent $500 on this Scorpio edition.
You're gonna revel if there's issues. You are definitely gonna talk about it on the podcast.
You know what? Because I like to point out when people screw up. I'm gonna point it out, and it'll be a gamer grief segment. So, all right. So this thing has been cracked open, and they found a homage to the Master Chief. Yeah, Master Chief. So on the motherboard, it's Master Chief riding a Scorpion.
Mm-hmm. That's fantastic. Tiny little etching on the motherboard, right?
And you'll never know unless you crack open your Xbox One X.
Right. It's a nice little touch, you know. It's the little thing.
Well, I'm sure. I think they had like Mario riding a dolphin or something on the GameCube. It was something like that. I know Mario was on one of the motherboards on one of these systems.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I think I remember hearing that too.
All right, let's stick with Master Chief and Halo. Apparently, there's going to be a Halo mixed reality experience.
Oh, super nice. So is this like is this a game or?
Not a game. You know, these VR sort of tech demos are all they don't want to say game because it's not really a game. It's an experience.
Right. So there's no interactive element. Well, there is no controller involved.
Well, I think it's like a shooting gallery. Well, first of all, it's coming out October 17th on Windows mixed reality headset. Mm-hmm. I think that's sort of like going to be like the generic experience that comes with each headset that comes out. It's kind of weird that headset doesn't work with an Xbox, right? Like you would think that they would say this would be like Xbox's VR, right?
I think so. Well, they didn't make any announcements, which I thought they were gonna at E3 2017.
Or maybe Gamescom, because they do a lot of announcements at Gamescom.
Yeah,
they're the only one.
Something. It's it's surprising. Maybe they're just waiting for the more powerful hardware to come out, and then they're going to be like VR. I don't know.
Well, you get the whole Halo pistol, and you sort of like enter a shooting gallery.
Oh, you do
iconic aliens as targets. Yeah.
Sure.
So. It's not long. It's like 5-minute experience that it's not a part of any game or anything. It's not like a teaser for Halo 6 or anything. It's just a 5-minute shooting gallery experience with you have in VR with the Halo skin essentially.
Yeah. Well, so we don't have any Windows headsets, so.
We should definitely not even out yet.
Well, when it ends up coming out, we should definitely make a trip to the Microsoft Store and try it out.
Yeah, well, you know what? That I can't see myself actually buying one. I mean, it's actually cheap. It's not that expensive.
It's only like $300, I think, if I remember.
I think it's even cheaper than that. No, maybe. I think it's like $200. It's like $200. It's not that expensive. I'll buy that. One headset that we both did buy, PlayStation VR.
Yeah.
So. That headset's been out since about last year, October, right?
Yeah.
In October.
Yeah.
It's the 1-year anniversary. And we have a lot of experiences for them. And I still haven't played that VR game.
Which
with the gun.
Farpoint?
Farpoint, yes.
The one you pre-ordered and picked up on day one, and then you're like, yeah.
I still haven't played it.
Oh
I did play my VR. So look, I'm one step closer to playing that game. You know what? I'm going to play that game this week and talk about it next week.
All right, make it happen.
That's what I'm going to do.
Make it happen.
I had to dust off the PSVR. The lady wanted to play virtual reality, so I dusted it off. So, and we played some experiences, because that's what they call them. You know what? I still haven't played. I want to buy that Ghostbuster VR.
And then also not play it?
No, I'm going to play that. I want to finish Psychonauts VR, too. I'm like halfway through that game.
Yeah, the Psychonauts VR thing is pretty short, I think.
It is short. Yeah, it's pretty short. Cool. I know I'm like halfway through, because I was in it for I was playing it for like a good hour.
How much do they have it on sale for?
Brand new, still I think it's still like $30.
30?
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, PlayStation, they made some minor adjustments to the new headsets that are coming out this year. You got to make sure the headsets are going to be, they're going to look identical, but you got to make sure that the serial number, the model number, if you're going to buy a new headset, just
that's not going to be confusing.
Buy the model number ZVR2.
Right.
So last year, the original models are ZVR1. And the changes, minor changes, but significant in my view. So pretty much the audio, the headphones are integrated into the actual headset, and not just like the little controller that's on the main wire.
Right.
So I think that's an upgrade.
Can you still hook up your own headphones to it?
I would assume so.
Okay. Yeah, because that would kind of be key, for me. But I like that they have them in there.
Also, the main wire that connects the headset to the box, it's definitely like a smaller, sleeker wire. Not like the big bulky wire that comes with the original model.
Right.
And then for all you graphics fans out there, this wasn't a big thing.
They're referred to as graphics whores. I think that's the
I was trying not to. I was trying to keep it PC.
Oh, I went there. I'm sorry.
You did go there. People who love HDR, if you wanted to pretty much use that feature, you would have to disconnect, because it's just not a weird setup. My only complaint about the PSVR is the wires. I think that's everyone's complaint, right?
It was atrocious. Like, because there's like a separate box for it.
It is atrocious.
And then you have to run. You have to run
HDMI,
wires from your TV into the box,
and then from the box to
there's
the
no less than
PS4.
Right, there's no less than 2 wires that go to the PS4. One goes in the front, one goes in the back, and then one wire out that goes to the headset. It's maddening. It's maddening. I hear that the Pro experience is a little better. I hear the Pro gets rid of the external box.
That I didn't hear.
I think there's less wires.
I don't think so. I'll be honest. I don't think that's accurate.
All right. I was.
I think it does give you a better experience. Just
it definitely. It's definitely a little more. It's definitely a little more
powerful, more juice.
Power.
Yeah. But I don't think. No. It's still the same setup. I could have sworn
that box was integrated. Maybe not.
No. That's what I think that was wishful thinking.
Well, all right.
No. I think it's still the same setup.
Okay.
However, if you wanted to pretty much use that HDR feature, like on a PS4 Pro, you would have to disconnect the PSVR, because you can't use that feature. It doesn't run through that box.
Right, which is weird, because it's just like a pass through. You just take the HDMI connection, run the HDMI, or run the signal through. But. Yeah, so I mean, they couldn't do it. They couldn't do it via firmware. Yeah, I mean, they couldn't just make a patch for it and be like, now you can just watch HDR content without having the headset hooked up. But Model 2 does, so there you go.
Yeah, Model 2 does have that pass through. So same price, and they're going to be regularly in stores. The new model will come out on the 14th, October 14th. So I think that's like Saturday.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure I know the answer, but are you going to get one?
Yeah, probably not. I'm not going to buy another headset. Not unless I wanted to do play some multiplayer games, hook up a second PS4. Probably not. I'm not going to buy another headset.
Well, you're gonna get the Pro eventually, so you'll have two, and then you have the two TVs. You know,
that is true.
You could technically do it.
Technically, I could do it, and then we could play. We could play that Star Trek bridge game.
Yeah, Bridge Commander. Sure.
I don't think it's called. Is it called Bridge Commander?
It's pretty close to it, I think.
I think it's Star Trek. I don't know what the hell it's.
No, you don't even know. See,
I don't even know. I don't think it was called Bridge Commander. No, wait.
Could be like Star Trek Clown Invasion. You don't know.
Let's look this up. Star Trek VR.
Oh my god, no.
Let's look this up.
No.
Bridge Crew. It's called.
Oh, I was so far off.
Bridge Commander. I knew you were wrong about that.
I was so far off. Oh, I'm sorry.
You were so far. Bridge Commander, Bridge Crew. It's
I know.
Different.
It's like it's you know what it is. That was a bridge too far.
Okay. Wonk wonk. No. You listen. You had the first letter correct.
Yeah, I know. Well, I was more than you knew.
C. You had C.
More than you knew.
I knew it was Star Trek Bridge.
Yeah. Right.
Anyway. All right. Let's bridge the gap.
Ugh.
No, you don't like that. That one of my best segues.
No, it's fine. I'll give you a pass.
So now that we know that the PS4 has just been dominating the market since its release, since 2013, it's been the #1 console.
Oh wait! What happened pre 2013? Who was dominating the market then?
We don't know. Listen. You living in the past. Let's live right. Let's live for right now. Let's live right now.
It's very convenient. Very convenient that PlayStation is on top right now, and you want to.
Well, you know what? PlayStation was on top
yet again.
Well, you know what? If you want to live in the past, PlayStation was on top for the PS1. PlayStation was on top for PS2 as well.
There was no Xbox. Right? This is what you're comparing it to.
PS2, the Xbox One. Well, the original Xbox was out for the PS2 era, and the PS2
the original
was
Xbox
dominating.
was trash, which you said you love.
I'm just saying.
It's a trash console. I will never defend the original Xbox. I will defend the 360.
The original Xbox was great system.
You just said it
wasn't better. I never said anything bad about it. I just said the PS2 dominated.
Anyway, I think we're getting off topic.
Well, that we know that PlayStation PS4 is dominating right now, right? Andrew House is stepping down. Andrew House was the former president and global CEO of PlayStation.
Yeah,
and he's stepping down.
This guy's been around since the PlayStation 1 days. In some way, shape, or form.
No, even before that.
Yeah.
I think he started back in like 1990 with Sony.
Yeah, it's
1990. I was like 8 years old back in 1990. You were like in high school, so.
I know. I am wise beyond my years. You need to take notice. I know things.
And even now you're wrong.
I know things.
So you can teach your old dog new tricks.
What am I wrong about?
All right, whatever. Bridge Commander.
Yeah. Night and
John
day.
Cadera will take his place immediately.
I have no clue who that is.
Well, you know what? I didn't know who John House was until PlayStation started dominating the market.
Well, yeah, fair enough. I mean, I've definitely heard that guy's name around, and
he will remain
some good moves.
Well, he will remain with the Sony Interactive Entertainment as chairman for the year. Doing the transitional period, and he would stick with the company as a director and chairman of Sony SIE. Which is Sony Interactive.
So he'll be on the board then, is what you're saying.
So he'll still be on. I mean, there was talks about him going to Nintendo, but I don't think that wouldn't happen, right? There has to be some like non-compete clause in his contract that he couldn't do that for a certain amount of time.
Right. Usually there's like a year gap or whatever, or something, couple months at least.
Well, we'll see how John does as far as because when new management, new authority takes over, they want to put their own spin on things, their own stamp on things. So we'll see how he will keep the momentum of PS4, and we'll really see his, like what he does with the PS5 or whatever they call it, right, with the next generation. That will be. We'll see how good of a CEO he'll be then, right?
Oh yeah. Which we may know sooner than later. And PS5 may get announced next year.
You know what? People are saying that the next generation probably won't kick off until like 2020.
Right.
Right. And that would make sense because that would be about, what, 7 years?
It'd be
right?
a little bit
Yeah.
long.
It'd be 7 years. It'd be 7. Well, when did the Xbox 360 come out? In 2005.
Xbox 360 was the end of 2005. And
it
it dropped in 2001, so that had a 4-year cycle, which was very short.
A 4-year cycle, but the 2005 to 2013 when the new Xbox came out, that was a very long cycle.
That was about 7 years. Well, yeah, I mean they had to they had to make up some ground from the OG Xbox.
That was like an 8-year cycle.
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
So almost 10 years. So it'd be around the same time, 2020, 2021, something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. One decision I know he didn't make. Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition was announced. It's coming out in December.
Mm-hmm.
Now, why would they do? Well, first of all, we always have complete editions that come out for games, all the DLC and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's coming out December 5th for $50.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they're releasing this in December, mostly to say, hey, look, remember me? We came out earlier in the year. We got like 10 out of 10 ratings from a lot of major gaming outlets.
Mm-hmm.
So, put out the complete edition at the end of the year with all the DLC. And when people go and talk about Game of the Year contention, they'll remember Horizon because it came out in February.
That's a very interesting theory. I never really thought about that.
Well, look, a lot of games that come out early in the year get forgotten about, right?
You're right.
During the holidays, during the holiday season.
Except for Zelda. Zelda's going to top the charts, baby.
Oh, Zelda's going to. Well, let's see, because look, Mario's coming out in 3 weeks. Well, 2 weeks, right? Mario and Zelda may split some of the votes.
Possibly, but
they may cancel each other out.
Zelda
and give a dark horse and give a chance to a dark horse like Horizon.
I mean, you're not. I think you're a little bit misguided there because the last 2 Mario games, the Galaxy games at least, were fantastic, right? Mm-hmm. So this is like the next one after that, right? So people were still high on Mario, like Galaxy 2, fantastic games. The last 2 Zelda games, people weren't so crazy about. Skyward Sword, people do not like. And Twilight Princess was, I really like Twilight Princess, but people had some issues with it. So you get a Zelda game that's like near perfect, because I don't think any game could be perfect, but I feel like people are like, yeah, Zelda's back, and it's just like the OG one, but it's also still like real new. I don't know.
Listen, all I'm saying is they're releasing this at the end of the year because they want to put Horizon back in the consciousness of the journalists in the zeitgeist, as they say. Mm. So when you talk about Game of the Year, oh yeah, I remember that game. Now it's you tend to forget games once they come out.
It'll be a nominee for sure. It'll be a nominee for sure.
And look, Zelda and Mario may split votes in some outlets. You never know.
Possibly, yeah. Possibly.
All right. Well, let's talk about a game that would never be in contention for Game of the Year.
Well, it can't be. It came out like.
Well, it wasn't in contention when it came out back in was it 2016, right?
Yes. I think it was 2016.
Well, Street Fighter V is getting an arcade edition coming out in 2018. So you get all the characters,
right?
You get an arcade mode, which should have launched with the game. If you already own the game, you'll get all of this for free anyway.
If you already own the game, you get the arcade mode and the balance tweaks and the new interface, but you don't get the DLC characters.
You don't get the characters.
No,
I could have sworn. Oh, okay.
The DLC characters are different, but you do get everything else. So you do get all the additional modes and all that stuff, which is good.
So this should have came with the game. First of all, I'm sure they rushed the game because they wanted to get it out at a certain time, right?
Well, it's weird though. Weird that you say that because it came out in like February of 2016, I think. It came out of like after the holiday season, so I don't know. Like, they could have just waited an extra month and like finished arcade mode.
They could have just waited until the end of 2016 to come out with this game.
Well,
and have arcade mode in it.
Yeah, fans would have liked it a lot more. They wouldn't have been as upset. I mean, 5 still has some issues apparently with gameplay balance and whatnot, according to the fans.
Well, it's coming out in the arcade mode, arcade edition. It's coming out January 16th. Mm-hmm. So, it would make sense for them not to add the additional characters if you already own the game, because this gives you a reason to actually buy the arcade mode, arcade edition.
Sure. I mean, either that or you can just download the DLC characters for whatever the price is. The season pass price for like $20 or $25, I bet.
I'm probably just gonna buy the arcade mode, so I have everything on one disc. I don't have to worry about downloading.
Well,
it'll be $39.99.
You technically still have to download the game to the hard drive, so.
Well, yes, but I have everything on the disc.
Right.
So it'd be $39.99, and it's coming out January 16th. Mm-hmm. So I'm actually gonna buy that. Well, talking about DLC now, I like Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, and I think more so. I mean, the mechanics are good. I wish they had the 3-on-3, where it's only you can only have one. Like, you can only have one partner instead of two other partners.
Oh, it's just 2-on-2.
Yes.
Interesting.
I know it looks wonky. It looks, the characters look a little wonky. I know you complained about Chun-Li, how Chun-Li looks on previous episodes.
Face was a little bit weird, and I'm not trying to make any disparaging comments about women or any of that stuff or whatever, but just based on our other previous character models, the graphics don't.
It's not just Chun-Li. Everyone looks weird.
Yeah. Even like Dante's got a weird face.
Well, according to reports, they cut the budget for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite so much. It was the budget for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. The budget was half the amount of Street Fighter V's DLC.
Yeah,
not the game. Yeah. DLC.
This is all starting to make sense now. The art team has to cut some corners, and then the programmers have to cut some corners, and you got to do what you got to do.
Well, according to some employees, to save time and money, they pretty much used pre-existing assets from Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and never updated it, and just left it the way it was.
Sure. That's just. I mean, I get it. You want to make the best product with the resources available, but come on, Capcom. First you stopped making Mega Man games, and now this. Nah, you're starting to get like Konami.
Well, Mega Man's in the game.
Yeah, it's not good enough.
I mean, the story's a little like it's a little plain, but I'm gonna finish it. I want to finish because I want to see what happens at the end. Mm-hmm. The graphics, I do feel like I'm playing Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Yeah,
which is fine. I don't mind living in the past.
Now, Marvel vs. Capcom 3 came out 6 years ago. You realize that? 6 years ago in 2011. It's crazy.
And I'm still playing it now.
Yeah.
What am I going to do? Send death threats to Capcom or anything?
Well, I mean, you could, but I think that would be
some bad
too
tweets.
Far.
I spent all this money. I'm just going to enjoy the game for what it is. Mm-hmm. As a side note, while I was having my great experience in GameStop, the guy in front of me, the guy that he was serving in front of me, was bringing back Marvel vs. Capcom, the collector's edition with the statues.
Oh,
He was just like, yeah, they look weird. It's not what I thought expecting it to be. Give me the points and I'll buy something else.
Wow, did they let him return it?
Yeah, they let him return it.
Like for the full value and points?
I wasn't really paying attention, so
he probably lost some money on that.
He seemed pretty happy with whatever solution they came up with.
Well,
so
all right.
All right. So that segues into our combo of the week.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much just the discussion around gaming the toxic nature of gaming culture.
And we've definitely certainly talked about this before in the news. We've had convos of the week on stuff that just kind of comes up where people get a little bit crazy. Speaking of which, like No Man's Sky, I think comes to mind, right? Where fans were.
Well, let me just put this in context.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
2 weeks ago, a designer named Charles Randall. He's a designer and programmer. He's worked with companies like Ubisoft and BioWare, and he pretty much had like a long Twitter rant like 2 weeks ago, and he pretty much said that developers would love to be more candid in public, but they feel it's too dangerous because they would get death threats and just the toxic nature of the gaming culture, that they can't just be honest on and share, how they develop games and the tricks of the trade of how they, solve problems and stuff. He pretty much draws a parallel with the film industry, where movies are announced years in advance, and pointed out the transparencies like that wouldn't, when a movie is announced years in advance, like what's James Cameron, Avatar, right? We already talking about Avatar 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's not going to be out until like 2030. Right. He can be transparent about the development of the movie and what's going on and some of the setbacks. Charles Randall is pretty much saying that wouldn't work in video games. Saying that the game change when you're developing a game, the game pretty much changes it's going to change from start to finish, and that's something that no one's going to argue with, because it's always going to be changing. Because if you have an idea and you can't make that idea happen, you have to do a workaround and do something different, right? But they can't be candid in public because of the toxic culture. The gamers have.
I mean, like, he's not.
And No Man's Sky is an example of that.
He's not wrong in that way, But I mean, let's go ahead and take No Man's Sky for an example, right? Because No Man's Sky developers were selling fans a false bill of goods, right? They're like, you want space battles? We got space battles. You want dinosaurs? We got dinosaurs. And then what happens? They have none of that, right? The game content that got shipped was not what the developer said was going to be in the game. And I understand that, there's 40 billion planets in the sky, and the world is so huge, and it's all procedurally generated, and there was a lot of really cool stuff about it, right? But if, things aren't going to be in the game, do like a developer diary and be like, look, here's the state of the game, right? Because if Sean Murray, I think is his name, from Hello Games, if he was just straight up with the fans and like, look, here's what's going on right now, like, people wouldn't be that upset. But they basically put the game out and they're like, have fun. And the game got panned, like, critically, because it didn't have all the stuff they said was going to be in there. The game was very bland, and, there just wasn't a lot to the game. It was missing a lot of key features. Look at, like, Street Fighter. Street Fighter 5 came out, and there's no arcade mode. Like, the key thing that needs to be in your fighting game is not in your fighting game. So, I mean, developers definitely don't want to say too much. They don't want to reveal trade secrets and whatever else, because then other developers can be like, oh, that's a great idea. I'm going to put that in my game. I'm going to make Assassin's Creed have this cool new feature that, Modern Warfare has, So, I mean, I kind of get that.
Yeah. Okay. Look, I can understand. Like, okay, well, let's take No Man's Sky, for example. We thought we could do a lot of things in that game that we could. It was basically, when it launched, it was boring exploration.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we thought we could do those.
I didn't even get off the planet. I couldn't even find all the material I need to get off the planet.
Right. And we thought we could do those things because the developer said, you can do these things,
Right. Well, I think he's a different case. I think that was a case of, this is what we want to do, but he didn't express this is what we want to do. He expressed this is what you will be able to do, and he should have tempered expectations and said, "This is
transparency."
Yeah. So I think he's a different case, but death threats to his house and all that, I think that was wrong. Right? Never do that.
Yeah, too much. I mean,
I think
it's just a game.
This is true, but if Avatar 2 doesn't come out, will people be sending James Cameron death threats?
I mean, look, it's whatever. It's a movie, I mean, maybe they will.
Well, maybe not to the extent that gamers do. Gamers are very. I will put it this way: gamers are very passionate and serious about games.
Those are the same people who go to see Avatar and get very passionate about Avatar. Like,
it's the number one selling movie of all time worldwide.
Yeah. I mean, there's a big middle ground between gamers and movies like Avatar and all the superhero movies and whatnot, they're the people that are the most vocal when, Wolverine's plot line is different than in, the Death of Wolverine comics, and it's like, oh, but it didn't do this and follow this and that,
I know, but when X-Men Origins came out, when X-Men Wolverine Origins came out, right, that movie sucked.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman didn't get death threats, right?
Well, I don't know. I mean,
people didn't go crazy. Well, not to the extent to where he didn't want to make another Wolverine movie, right? Obviously, because
sure. He's made a couple since. Yeah, and Logan was fantastic, by the way. Just after little aside.
Well, I think we're bridging the gap now, right? Sort of like look at Beyond Good and Evil 2 and Psychonauts 2. Okay. We're seeing like little snippets of the development, right? Right now, you can see Psychonauts 2, the platforming in Psychonauts 2 in an unfinished stage.
Yeah.
Right. And you're seeing. I haven't really kept up with it, but you're seeing like the development of Beyond Good and Evil 2. He gave us like a little snippet of. During E3, he gave us a little snippet of just exploring like this is of ideas that he's trying to come up with and what he wants to do, right?
Yeah,
like
it
a
was
little
that
hub
whole,
world of what he
space
wants.
thing where you were like zoomed like way out, and you were in this little ship, and like then they zoomed you like all the way down. Like it was like, oh, that's freaking awesome.
Even Halo, when you got the Master Chief Collection, I thought it was like every week there was like a different, like a different movie style, 20-minute, in-depth I think it was of Halo 5. I think it was Halo 5. Yeah, right. It was like it because they had the movie, the TV show episodes come out, and then you had like the development of Halo 5. It could have been the Master Chief Collection, but I think it was Halo 5. So we're getting to see a lot of behind the scenes of development of games, and I think the toxic culture of first of all, developers need to make clear this is what we want to be in a game, and this is what's definitely going to be in a game.
Yeah,
right?
like transparency is the word, right? Like let connect with your fans on that level, do the dev diary and all that, and let them know exactly what you're saying. Like look, this is what we want to do, or this is what we're working on to be in the game, And there's like a clear distinction between those two.
Just stop the death threats. Stop sending FBI agents to people's live streams. Yeah. Right? They're not terrorists.
Yeah.
Stop it. Stop trying to steal credit card information and of people's family members. Just stop. Like none of that stuff we don't need any of that stuff. All right. That's the few who do that make the many look bad.
I think what you're trying to say, in the immortal words of Will Wheaton, don't be a dick.
We just got the explicit tag.
There you go. Wow, yeah. True words have never been spoken, I think.
That is true.
I think it's very appropriate in this case.
I would love to have a conversation on how gaming culture is so nice.
Yeah, right?
No, it's never going to be nice. No, it's never going to be nice. When you're passionate about something, it's never going to be too nice.
Right. People got opinions. They want to express them.
Yeah, just don't be jerks about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. And the immortal words of Dan, formerly known as Classic Robinson, just don't be a jerk about it. That's it.
Nice little paraphrase. I like it. Okay. Well, that about does it. Episode 89 in the books. I want to thank everybody for listening and sticking with us, and all the likes and the loves and all the support. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google+, and YouTube at Rated G for Gamers. And you can email us at ratedgforgamers@gmail.com. So please like, listen, subscribe.
And as always, keep gaming.